Testing. I'm gonna try to look at the camera and not the viewfinder. Alrighty, it's making me look really pale. Hold up. I don't know what's changing. Alright, so this is how I look like. I'm both rebels in our hearts, rebels in our hearts. Never be me. Break me. You will never be me. I'm just starting this video because I have a lot to say, and I also like sing the same song, like the same verse over and over again because I get obsessed with it. Here you go, maybe this. I just did my arm yesterday. It's kind of hurting me a little bit, but I have a couple of things to say, and I just want to say this, but also like I get distracted. Even the video that I might post about me doing my makeup, I'm distracted by my own makeuping. I'm distracted by what I was doing, which was my makeup. So I was like, I don't know how anyone can multitask stuff. I don't know. I got distracted, so I don't know how you guys feel, but I just wanted to put out a couple of things. That was loud. I'm trying to test out the lighting because I don't really know where it's good lighting. Yeah, I still saw it. Yeah, I wanted to say a couple of things because of what is going on right now. Like, I don't know how to say this. I can't say it without in the hearts of rebels in the hearts. You will never be. I think I fixed it a little bit. I don't know if you can see me. It's kind of blurry. I'm not gonna lie to you right now. But I wanted to kind of say a couple of things because, and I'm not trying to also sound really crazy and obnoxious and insensitive. Because I think that I should be entertaining at times, and like I don't know in my head I don't really know what I'm trying to take, like what is satire and what is literal in my head. A lot of things I'm like, because like when I'm recording I'm thinking about it and I already established that that's like satire or like it's a joking matter, but then when I'm recording it I'm like, is that really funny? Is that really what I was trying to intend to do? But anyways, I'm looking out into I'm like directly at the sun. I'm just looking out. People could probably see me because I'm like at direct sunlight right now. And I stutter a lot. I stutter a lot. Speak to a lot of people in this matter, so this is genuinely me trying to just calm down and talk to you guys a bit. I don't know if this looks good either. I'm not gonna take too long. I'm not trying to overcast or kind of filter out what is actually going on around the world. It's kind of scary, but it's like I'm not, like I recognize what like a lot of liberals are doing, and it's like it's fear-mongering. It feels like it, and I'm not really sure what's going on because like with what's going on in TikTok, like with what we can say, like it gives off like, I'm not trying to say anything, but like that little TikTok sound that's going around, and basically to prepare for these types of things. I really don't know what's happening, and I'm just kind of switching back and forth between the news, YouTubers, Twitch streamers, and TikTok on what's going on, because it's kind of like a back and forth of like what's truly going on and what people are making it seem like it's going on. So I don't know. If you live in real life, and if you don't live alone, if you do live alone, then you're kind of going based off of the news and TikTok. But I live with a couple of other people, family members specifically, and they see the reality in like the cities, in the city in New York. And I don't know, it's kind of like sometimes the news does, of course we all know this, that it amplifies a lot of the negativity. And hold up. And I'm also not really wearing any makeup. I'm wearing concealer. I'm wearing a little bit of concealer. I think this is a pretty okay background because you're only concentrating on me. All right. I might switch it up when I'm done talking about what I'm thinking. I do think that it's really a good. I smacked my. I do think that it's a really good thing currently that a lot of my generation and a lot of other people that are trying to state their opinions and state it clearly which side they are on, the side of human rights, of course. That's what I'm seeing. It's these social media platforms are really becoming red pill, and it's kind of scary. And I've always kind of stayed away from the amount of things. Like I grew up in Florida, as I've stated a bunch of times, and I feel like if you do get annoyed by the amount of times that I reinstate something, that I repeat myself on and off, maybe because I forget, or that I'm just kind of saying it to people that are initially seeing just this video alone or just another video. Like I feel like reintroducing myself however many times so people understand where I'm going and where I'm coming from. But again, growing up in Florida, I feel like I had a couple of people that I followed and that I knew as and were acquaintances with a couple of high schools. I was acquaintances with a couple of people from my high school, and I realized a couple of things that they done and said, and I'm honestly done. I've unfollowed. I don't really try to stay in the lane of those types of people that just go against what I truly believe in. And I do think that's isolating myself to only one certain type of group. It's very isolating. Florida is very isolating. You're gonna meet a lot of type of people, and I've always been the type of person to recognize a lot of people's manipulations and work. And when I was working there as well, like a lot of religious manipulation, and I really just was to the point where I was too conscious. Like my dad is the person that, like, although he might have our own differences, I think that he's a very conscious person, and he has stated to me that he's a very conservative, progressive person. And I don't know how opened people from Ecuador are. I don't know the society of Ecuador. I'm not close to the people in my family, so I can't have those types of comfortable or discussions with them. So it's kind of different. I recently just went to Ecuador for the first time, and it kind of fell off because I understand from their perspective on why we never reached out and personal problems. Again, I think I want to say this before I forget. I think I'm not that open to you guys yet. It seems like in my brain, it seems like I am pretty open, but there's a lot of things that I cut out, and then I kind of forget that I cut it out, and then I'm like, oh, this is pretty open. You guys see the true me. You see a little bit of insight, and then in the end, I'm like, I actually didn't open up at all. And I got that from my friend, Brian again. I got that from my friend when he was like, wow, I didn't know this about you. Or other friends are like, wow, I didn't know this about you. And I'm like, yeah, I get distracted, I'm sorry. I'm looking out in the cars. I feel like I'm pretty open, but it doesn't feel like it. And maybe that's the restraint from myself, because I'm not an openly queer person. I'm not really open person. I kind of keep my personal things to myself, and I just hear people out, and people see my silence as something like, hey, you're pretty quiet, let me spew out your life. And I'm okay with that. In certain instances I don't want it, but they either trauma dump or whatever, but I'm okay with listening to other people's stories. It's really interesting to get their perspective, and they feel comfortable enough to be open to me about, and sometimes they open up about their spiritual things, which is also interesting. That is interesting too, because they're like, how did you get that I was like I'm literally, I also fake it. I also faked a lot of things, and I lie. I'm a big liar. Subconsciously I'm a big liar. I just lie. Like, these little tiny fibs that I say, they're not big, but in order to just keep away from certain conversations, I don't mind lying. It's like a little fib, and we move past that. I mean, I had a Hispanic mom that she would exaggerate or lie or cannot remember. Maybe though sometimes there are instances that I cannot remember, and my sister will fact check me on that, and that's okay. I will come back and fact check, and I'm like, actually guys, I lied. That was my sister's story. Anyways, back to what I was talking about these platforms and people openly stating what they believe in and what they are trying to strive for, and how people are like, your clothes are the biggest thing that's just a statement. Like, without words, those are statements, and like fashion is a statement. And how some TikTokers are also saying that like people don't have styles anymore. Hello. Again, I do think that they're right, but also like a self-expression. If people want to dress the same, if people like what they like, there, I don't care. It's honestly like, I really don't care if people dress the same. I just hate when people outcast other people that don't want to follow in that direction of normacy, I guess, the normal standard. And I hate that. I really do hate that. Oh yeah, fashion and it being a big statement, and I feel like that is a good thing. I'm a first gen, and my sister also told me, she was like, we're technically second gen because the first gen is my parents, but they didn't grow up in the American system at all. They came here as a young adults, already to have children and get to work. That was basically it. I grew up in the American system, so I'm first gen American in that sense, if you want to technically say. But learning about these things that I didn't take African American studies. I did learn about herstory. I did learn about herstory. I did take like a jazz class. I did pay attention in those things. In those classes, when I took college, jazz, I love music so much, and learning about jazz, and although I don't have great memory about it, I just remember feeling like, wow, this is a thing that I willfully took, and I actually learned a lot about and appreciate the impact that jazz has taken in my life and in American society. So learning about these things is new to my family. It's new to maybe a lot of Ecuadorians. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, to give you a little bit of perspective of an instant in my family, I'm not trying to out anyone, but I have a cousin that she did post that she had a girlfriend, and she quickly deleted it once I was like, oh, congratulations. Quickly deleted it. No signs of her actually being Yeah, maybe there's a reason why. Maybe there's a reason why my mom and my other aunts have said or stated the last time that I spoke to them or were in their proximity, stated that they don't like lesbians. My aunt has stated that she had a coworker that was a lesbian and she thought it was asco. Le dio asco. And guess what? We were in a BBQ place, and I felt more unsafe than ever. I was like, I'm in a BBQ place in South Florida. My aunt just told me that le dio asco seeing two lesbian women kiss. All right. So I was like, you know what? I feel unsafe. I'm just kidding. I'm pretty straight passing. I asked my friends, and I was like, am I straight passing to you? And they're like, yeah, you're straight passing. I feel like mentally I've told myself that I'm pretty intimidating and I look intimidating. I'm in the height of, like, you know, a little bit above average than a lot of Ecuadorians, a lot of Ecuadorian women, a lot of women in general. So I was like, okay, well, that's just that, I guess. So that's why that's kind of like, I'm like, well, I'll go with it. If I'm straight passing, at least look a little bit tough doing it. So what else was I saying? Oh yeah, I keep going back. I keep straying away. I do edit a lot because I say and I smack my mouth too much and I pause. When I'm doing a lot of things, I get distracted and I'm not articulating myself and I go around in circles. TikTokers and the creators speaking about what the situations are going on as much as they can and stating and reinstating and keeping stating. This is the time, like, I feel like protect and fight for things that do not involve you. I want to openly say that I want this community or whatever I create or wherever I go in the future, I want for people of the LGBT, trans people, I want POC and Black people to feel comfortable with the content that I create, because I am involved and I want to be involved in the film or production industry. Either that is making music videos in the end, and I strive to, like, either make K-pop music videos or like be a part of that because I've consumed it so much. But they have implemented a lot of things that are African American influence or Hispanic influence as well. Yeah, I'm gonna call out Young, but sometimes you gotta learn where words are coming from. I think that was either Italian, but I thought it was Spanish. I will correct myself if he got a tattoo that it was in a different language and he didn't do his research. I thought myself that because I'm so uneducated about, like, a lot of things, and a lot of the things that I consume are from TikTok and all my what is called, my hot takes. Is it hot takes or clip? I forgot the word. Where, like, basically you are like just taking topics and you're posting it on TikTok in the short form, are from TikTok. And I've learned a lot from TikTok, which is sad. It is sad that I'm learning a lot of things that I never really knew, and it made me realize that I was really isolated. And especially the news in Florida aren't the greatest perspective at all, because most of the times they are negative and directed to a certain type of social group or a group of people, and it's sad, and it's the reality. And I do think that state has created so much hate in me due to its unsupportive direction and government that has influenced a lot of hate towards other people. So it's like I hate people that hate, but in the end, that is not going to direct me in any way. And I want to push out the best. I want to push out the best in me, because I don't want to be part of that people that are just hating. And I'm also being loud for no reason because I'm not educated enough. And being loud and uneducated is what they want. You're just basically fighting fire with fire, and that doesn't get anywhere. So I might as well just put out comforting content or encourage people to learn in any platform. It could be me. Don't be me. It should not be me. It should not be me. It should be someone else. Hot and educated. Scary that there's very little platforms that are opened about certain topics, and they speak about certain topics, and especially in the Latino community, there's very little, minuscule amount of people that talk about topics that are very important to our society and to grow. And there's very little criticism in that sense. I do enjoy mindless content creating, but once in a while you can state your stance. It doesn't matter if you're educated or not. I feel like you should state your stance on where you are and not just make it kind of very vague that you're not going to a certain place because you're just kind of going to a different place now. I don't go to that place, I go to a different place. What's your reason? Why? I guess in this community we don't really ask why, we just kind of go with it. And it's kind of like you should be asking why things happen, if especially in this country that you are first gen to. You kind of have to ask why. And and I'm drifting off from the content creating. I think that's all I wanted to say. I filmed a video, and I was kind of ranting about again Florida, and about Bad Bunny's new album, especially the song named Turista. How it kind of resonated with me a little bit due to its meaning, my interpretation of the meaning of someone coming into your home, your place, your country, consuming all of it and its beauty and only its beauty, and then leaving, not caring about the people there, not caring about the ecosystem there, not caring about anything. You just take and then leave. Or you take and you stay, but you don't care. You don't care which way you impact the community. You just don't care. And it's so sad. And although I don't live in a country like Puerto Rico, I don't live in Ecuador. I've never experienced the country as much. I am trying to educate myself Ecuador's government and society a little bit, not through my family, of course. I hope to soon have a conversation, but it's getting a little bit scary. It's a little bit scarce on the young people over there. So, what the fuck else was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So I resonated with it a little bit, and I kind of related it to living in Florida. I feel like it gives island vibes. South Florida is very much island vibes. You go to the beach. I was 10 minutes away from the beach. That's how close I was. Was I an beach girl? Island girl. Was I a beach girl? No, I was not a beach girl. I really hated the beach. I hated the sun. I hated the freaking heat. I hate that you go outside and it's so humid. Like, I understand it. I appreciate it much more now because I'm away from it, which is sad to say, but it's the reality. I live in New York now, and I get 4 seasons, and it's beautiful, and I really do appreciate each and every season. And every season that it comes, I want it to be over with during its ending term. Ending term. I want you to end. I want you to leave. I want the next one. Give me the next season. So yeah, I resonated with it being resonated with living in Florida. It's not a territory. It's I understand. It's not completely Puerto Rico. I understand, but I resonated with it a little bit in the sense of a lot of tourism. Was in my area. A lot of people go down to South Florida for the beaches. I worked near the I worked near the beaches, and I worked in convenience stores. And how many tourisms come in, and the snowbirds come in, the tourists, the snowbirds, everyone coming into South Florida, making a mess. The spring breakers. I'm not trying to get mad. But the spring breakers, I hate y'all. I hate y'all. I hope you know I hate y'all. And I want to say that I don't actually hate. I'm trying to not use that word as often, but I don't have any other words to say other than I hate you. They don't destroy. They create chaos. They kind of create a lot of the imbalance of Florida when those times come, when summer comes, when spring comes. And it's like, why are you even here? Again, everyone has their own rights to be there. But and it brings in business. But I hate when you guys come in, make a mess, or act so entitled to the point because you are on vacation and everyone else working in South Florida in the steaming heat needs to serve you in the most gratitude, most like, I am so honored to serve you today. No, I'm not gonna do that. No one is going to do that. I'm just kidding. There's a couple people. There's people that would happily serve you, but I hate when you're entitled to, like, because you're in vacation. Apparently, the world needs to revolve around you. It's not. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. I hate you. I just hate the entitlement of people when they're on vacation and they're like, oh my God, so much sun outside. I hope you enjoy. I get out at night. I can't go out. I have to work. And it doesn't matter if I go out for 2.2 seconds. Why would I go out in the heat and then come back and I stink and I rank because of my sweat? Okay,